pall of black smoke hung over the capital city of Castries overnight as the dying embers from the smoldering debris of the Adjodha building fire continue to simmer. Divisional Officer of the St. Lucia Fire Service David Antoine says the department received the emergency call at approximately 1:22 p.m. Thursday that a storeroom at Voyagers, located in the Adjodha building on the William Peter Boulevard, was ablaze. He says first responders from the Dennery, Castries, Grosley and Barbano fire stations were dispatched to the scene. According to Antoine, firefighters faced three main challenges, chief among them, access.
One being that there was a problem with accessibility. On arrival at the scene, the business establishments were secured on the lock and key. And there was no way we could have gained access to the area of origin of the fire. That was one. The second was that the building was old, and it consisted of a wooden floor. And as the fire burnt, it consumed that floor, and which collapsed as a consequence. As a result of that, we had to intermittently withdraw our men to prevent injuries or any kind of fatalities during the operation. And the third one was you had a restaurant in the building, you had stores in the building, and there were a lot of combustible material there.
Those flammable contents in the building that provided tinder for the fire, including gas tanks, complicated efforts to douse the flames.
There were propane gas in there in the restaurant as well, and we had a lot of combustible material, textile, that were burning. And again, what compounded the problem is that we could not have got to the seat of the fire or to those areas where the fire was burning. So it meant that everything consumed, and we were there trying to control the fire. Even now as we speak, we have men on the scene, although the fire is under control. But we have men on the scene trying to put out the last remnants of it so that the business establishment within the area can operate.
Firefighters were unable to save the building, but managed to prevent the blaze from spreading to nearby structures. Antoine reveals the fire service will conduct an internal briefing to assess the operation. He hinted at an after-action report of sorts, informing the way forward. The fire official believes the building codes need to be revised and consideration given to early alarm systems.
Because I'm thinking, and that's a discussion that we've had and continue having, that if there was such a system in place, that fire would have detected early enough, and that we could have made an early enough response to have contained that fire. And I think that's one of the messages that we should drive home, is to look at building codes and early warning system when it comes to alarm, so that we could assist the property owners in safeguarding their own structures.
The divisional officer also sought to demystify some long-held misperceptions about access to water and firefighting in St. Lucia.
We need to dispel that myth, and we have done that several times. There is no way any fire plants will get to any fire scene without water. And we operate from the sea pump that is right here in the city of Castries, and that runs until it gets to Masha. So we had accessibility to water. But what I'm saying, regardless, we have accessibility to water, and we have no accessibility to the origin of the fire or to get to the fire to put it out. It would not do us any good. And that was the problem in the operation.
The fire department commended the police, fire personnel, and the public for their cooperation. There were no reports of injuries and loss of life. Businesses located outside the immediate cordon were given the all clear and discretion to resume operations on Friday. Winston Springer Jr., HDS News Force.